Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and today we are talking about Nico Robin. Now, Robin's story is one of a hunting tale of loss, survival, and search for belonging. Before her time with the Straw Hat Pirates, Robin lived a life marred by tragedy, mistrust, and a constant struggle to stay alive. But why? Why did she live this way? What drove her to ally with someone as dangerous and conniving and evil as Crocodile? And how did Luffy and his crew finally break through the emotional barriers she had built around herself? See, to understand Robin, we have to go back to her earliest and most devastating loss, the destruction of O'Hara. Now, I will briefly talk about that because imagine your community and your people seek knowledge and you seek it because it's the truth. You want to just discover what happened in the past. And seeking that knowledge alone is considered a vile act of condemnation and evil that can only be atoned by death and destruction by your own government. This is the world of One Piece. You see, born into a world where her mere existence became to be seen as a threat, Robin had the misfortune of growing up in an environment where knowledge was a danger. The scholars of O'Hara were dedicated to understanding the void century, a forbidden and abandoned time in history. And for this pursuit alone, they paid the ultimate price. Robin's family, friends, and entire community were wiped out by the world government in the Buster Call. What is a Buster Call? It is when a bunch of vice admirals, of fleets, hella people pull up and bombard an island, a place, an area, and annihilate every living being there for the government. What does that tell you about your government if they're willing to do such acts? The scholars of O'Hara, all murdered in cold blood, and Robin's family's friends and entire community wiped out by the world government in this Buster Call, leaving her as the sole survivor of the tragedy. At just 8 years old, she was branded as a criminal for having the ability to read poneglyphs, knowledge that could awaken ancient weapons capable of global destruction. But why were these weapons hidden? What if these weapons were something that could actually bring positive outcomes? How can we know this if we are not allowed to even learn about these things? These are secrets only the government keeps. Why should we trust the government? These are the questions people of O'Hara had. The psychological impact of this loss, of losing her family, friends, and community, was immense. Studies in trauma psychology tell us that children who suffer the loss of a parent or community at a young age often struggle with trust, attachment, and a sense of safety. Robin, having lost her mother and her entire support system, was forced into a life of self-reliance. Without a community to lean on, she became distrustful of others and learned to navigate the world alone, an orphan in every sense of the word. But there was a pivotal figure, a figure that gave Robin her first chance and allowed her to escape, and that was Aokiji Kuzan. See, Aokiji was there at the Buster Call as the Vice Admiral, and he saw Robin trying to escape, and he allowed it. He thought for a second, who am I to murder a mere child who has done no wrong, no evil, but simply has gained knowledge? And this knowledge, we decided, is so dangerous that even a child must be murdered before they choose to do right or wrong with this knowledge. We are assessing somebody's whole future and annihilating and eliminating it before they even get an opportunity to live it, before they even get an opportunity to make a decision. If this knowledge is so key and so pivotal and so powerful, why won't we take this knowledge? Why do we must destroy it and eliminate it from existence? See, this is when Aokiji began to question the government, and a video about him will be coming soon. And later, it makes sense why he makes the decision he makes. Now, Aokiji decides to let Robin go because he will not take an innocent life, even though he might regret it. But he says he will keep an eye on her. And if she does become vile and evil, then he will eliminate her in the future. And he made it his own promise. Now, during the Buster Call, Kuzan had the chance to end Robin's life, but instead he made the choice to let her go. Reasoning, as explained, I think was moral. I think he couldn't do it. He wanted to see what Robin would grow into. He acknowledged that while Robin posed a potential threat, she was also a child who had been wronged by a corrupt system. In sociology, this can be seen as an act of moral disengagement. This is Kuzan, right? What Kuzan did is moral disengagement. Kuzan disassociating from his role as an enforcer of the government to make a personal and ethical decision. This moment was significant because it was one of the few times Robin experienced mercy, but it wasn't enough to dispel her deep mistrust of the world. Kuzan's decision not to kill the Straw Hats later, during the encounter in Long Land, further highlights his complicated relationship with Robin, as well as his relationship with the government. He recognizes that Luffy's crew gives her something she has never had. And also after Water 7 and Enies lobby, when he decides to let them go, he recognizes that Luffy's crew gives her something she has never had: genuine care and loyalty. Because, Luffy tries to even attack him, gets frozen, and he's like, wow, these people actually are willing to fight for her. She's not just with some ragtag of people that are willing to abandon her at any given danger, right? But still, his intervention is a reminder that Robin's life is constantly under threat from powers far greater than herself. And it's always on other people's whim, whether she survives or lives. And that's why having the Straw Hats is so great, because she now has a force behind her that will make sure that she has a chance to fight. Robin's journey from O'Hara to Alabasta is one of constant betrayal. To survive, she was forced to join various organizations, always hiding her true intentions and never allowing herself to grow attached. Her alliance with Crocodile is a clear example of how survival, rather than loyalty or trust, drove her decisions. Crocodile was a powerful warlord, someone who could protect her from the world government. Also, kind of kept her hostage in a way, like, listen, you gonna do this, or I'm gonna give you to the government type shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like, she willy-nilly just chose to go with Crocodile. People like those. Well, a lot of people just wanted to use her, right? At least temporarily, right? For Robin, joining forces with him wasn't about shared goals or camaraderie. It was about staying alive. Psychologically, this kind of survival mechanism is common in people who have experienced prolonged trauma. They become adept at reading situations and manipulating them to their advantage, always keeping their true selves hidden. Robin became a master of this, but it came at the cost of emotional isolation. In a way, she became a ghost, someone who existed in the shadows, never truly known or understood by anyone. But the turning point in Robin's life came in Alabasta, not through her alliance with Crocodile, but through her observation of Luffy and his crew. You see, the moment that stands out most is Luffy's willingness to wage a war for Vivi, a princess he barely knew. In fact, they were enemies, right? For a little bit. And yet somehow, this man Luffy decided, I mess with this girl, and they journeyed together. And he was like, I am willing to fight a whole war for this girl, because I found out why she joined this crew in the first place, why she became a number in Crocodile's whole allegiance, right? You know what I will do? I will go out there and wage a war against the people keeping her people captive. And he did. He pulled up, willing to die for that shit, for people he barely knew. And Robin was bewildered, baffled, blown away. The fact that this man was willing to throw away all of his dreams, his goals, aspirations, risk his crew's life for the sake of this person. She was like, this person, I will help this person, because this person gives me hope, and I want to see what this person would do. And she thought, after I help this person, Luffy that is, he's going to flee and run and hide, like, God damn, listen, I tried, bro, but I almost died. Nah, Luffy said, oh, thank you for bringing me back to life. I'm going straight back to fighting this guy. Huh? But he almost killed you. I am going back. I told Vivi I am freeing her goddamn kingdom. I am freeing this kingdom, even if it kills me. And he goes straight back and fights again. So, of course, at the end, Robin comes in assistance and helps Luffy win, and grabs Luffy when he collapses. She sees in him something she has never really seen since her family's loss. Somebody that cares genuinely, somebody that loves unconditionally. The Straw Hats became her family because of this very moment. But it's not until later that it all comes together for her and she finally feels free. You see, Luffy's actions forced Robin to reconsider her worldview. She had been running from place to place, aligning herself with people like crocodiles to avoid death. But here was a group of people who fought not for power or personal gain, but they fought for the sake of their friends and their dreams and aspirations. They were noble people. It's no wonder that Robin's first instinct after the events of Alabasta was to join them. She saw in the Straw Hats something she had never before, at least not since the O'Hara incidents. She saw genuine companionship and genuine loyalty. Robin's life before the Straw Hats was one of constant flight, jumping from place to place, always watching her back, never trusting anyone fully. These are the hallmarks of a life lived in survival mode. Research into the psychological effects of prolonged isolation shows that people who are forced to live in a constant state of hypervigilance often struggle with forming deep, trusting relationships. For Robin, joining the Straw Hats wasn't just about finding protection, it was about finding a reason to trust again. When she first joined the Luffy's crew, it wasn't out of some deep loyalty or love, it was out of curiosity. Are these people really as noble as they seem? Is it possible for people to be this noble? There must be something behind the scenes why they did this. Why are they so caring? Why are they so willing to go to war and to bat for those that they care about? She wanted to understand why these people were so different. Over time, she came to realize that the Straw Hats were the first people who cared for her without wanting anything in return. Unconditional. They didn't see her as a weapon, a threat, or a tool. They saw her as Nico Robin, a person worthy of love and protection. This is the reason why Luffy never really asks anything of her. Luffy will ask Zoro to do certain things. Luffy will ask Nami and the other crew members to do certain things, but it showcases Luffy's emotional intelligence as well, because he will not ask Robin or tell Robin to do anything, right? Robin must want to do it. And if she doesn't, it's okay. Luffy doesn't care. He'd figure out another way to read the poneglyphs if he has to. When he asked Robin to join the crew, it wasn't because she could read the poneglyphs, right? When he went ahead and said, "Fuck the government, I'm going to fight them," it was not because Robin can read poneglyphs. He didn't care about the poneglyphs. You know, Luffy's a blind boy. He just roams freely and shit. I'll stumble upon this One Piece one day. I'll get strong enough to beat everybody so that I can get the information I need to get the One Piece. That's as simple as his plan was. And so in Annie's lobby, when after Robin leaves the crew, because the CPO threatens to call a buster call on her new family she just formulated, and people that she's been enjoying her time with, people that were so caring and so nice to her. She said, "I cannot allow that to happen to me again. I cannot allow that to happen to those that I love again." And so she left with the CPO agents, and lo and behold, the person who is scared the most, the person who fear is his biggest enemy, the bravest warrior of the sea, who had already left the crew, donned the mask and went solo against the CPO by himself, solo dolo. A man scared of lions, tigers, fire, went into the lion's den that was burning. And he went it alone because you are not taking a friend, not without a fight. That alone was already showcasing, like, wow, this is how much these people care. But to top it off, when they reach Annie's lobby and Robin pleads with them, "Please, you don't know how it is. They will destroy everything and everybody care about once again." Luffy says, "I don't care. They will not take you by force. If you want to go and you want to be with them, cool. If not, just tell me the words. If you want to be free, tell me the words." Okay, Usopp, shoot that flag. And Usopp shoots that flag immediately, waging war against the government itself before they even had a full fleet. The Straw Hats became runaways. They waged war against the very government that destroyed Robin's family, his whole world, because of her. Because she meant that much to them. And this moment right here shook her to her very core. And she cried. It was the most beautiful moment. And it showcases how healing happens, right? You need a support group. You need those around you that are willing to go to bat for you, to be patient with you, to allow you to learn. Nico Robin's story is one of the most profound in One Piece because it's not just about physical survival, but emotional healing. Before meeting Luffy and the Straw Hats, Robin was trapped in a cycle. A traumatic past had left her with deep scars, and her life had been marked by a lack of trust and belonging. The Straw Hats, in contrast, offered her something she had never had, a family that would fight for her, not because of what she could do for them, but because they cared about her as a person. In sociology and psychology, we understand that healing from trauma often requires the presence of a supportive, stable community. For Robin, the Straw Hats became that community, slowly allowing her to open up, trust, and eventually find peace in the idea that she didn't have to run away anymore. You see, Luffy, by waging war for someone he barely knew, showed Robin that she too was worthy of such devotion. And in that realization, Nico Robin began the long journey from a life of loneliness and survival to one of trust, belonging, and hope. Nico Robin learned to finally take the reins of her own life, to make her own decisions. She finally gained that ability, freedom that she never had before. And that's beautiful, I guess. We all need support. We all need those that can lift us back up when we fall. Anyway, it's been your voice, Premature to God. Make sure you live, like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.